Yeah, there you go.
You can move that camera.
Why don't you introduce him, Jordan?
I actually don't know his full name. So why don't you just give us your full name?
My full name? I'm Alex. Alex Szymanczyk, but I'm also known as Kakafu.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Closer? Okay, hello.
Yeah, stay in front of the mic.
So we're talking about your squad right now. Anyone want to?
I heard it. I heard a lot of firepower stuff again here.
How do you feel? Well, I guess I'll start out just something general. How do you feel about the teams? Like, what are your main focuses right now as a squad?
Just the main focus is that we keep on playing consistent. I think the APL season was really good. Like, we were really relaxed in the games. Like, not put out too much pressure on us, and just like play like we actually like trained it and do the stuff that we want to do.
Well,
do you think that the difference between obviously like online games and LAN games is going to play a big factor into how your team actually deals with that? Like again, like just being able to be calm and kind of stay within yourself and follow what you've practiced.
Yeah, 100%. Like in LAN, it's always different, and the setups are different, and the PCs are different, and people have to adjust on the situation, and that's why some players are not as good. But if they get used to it, or if the setups are like all good, then they should like perform the same way. It's just like a mental stuff, and also like how the tournament is set up.
Yeah, fair enough.
I saw in Brazil. I remember Tizian was pretty shaky down there, right? That was one of his first lands.
Oh yeah, this was like one of the first bigger ones that he had.
Because we were just talking about him being kind of a supportive element. How do you feel he's come along with his just overall demeanor as a player on LAN and in the team?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's constantly improving. Like, he didn't play on these stages. Like, we had like 1 year more experience than he did, and like he came from a lower tier, and now he's like playing on the bigger stages. So he just needed to get used to it. But we're very happy for his progress, like how he progressed and how he starts fitting in the team. And we gave him a lot of roles that we need to fill, right? So he was coming from attacks, and he was saying, okay, then I need to learn a lot of new stuff. Like in us, like in our team, he had to do a lot of different stuffs, and he gets used to it every day. And we're very happy that he's in our team.
Cool.
It's very good.
I guess anything else, boys?
I mean, yeah, but well, by the same token, it's obviously interesting to see the dynamic between obviously big, Four Germans and then Smuya. Like he's kind of the odd one out in that sense, just from a communication point of view, and et cetera. Like and the fact that he's also completely fresh in terms of being on the pro scene, playing like at this kind of level. Yeah. Has it been the same kind of path for him as it was with Tizian? Like or has he kind of settled into the team in a way that everyone's happy with?
Yeah, I mean, he is still progressing. Like for him, it's like we're very happy how he progressed in game, but it's a lot of out of the game stuff. You know, that he has to be like respectful. He cannot like tweet whatever he wants. Just like be more professional, I would say. I think this is like more his path, but skill wise, like we're happy. He's learning. He's improving. He wants to learn, and that's something that we appreciate for him. Like people say, okay, maybe not only like mechanics, but we're teaching him the game because his mechanics are already really, really good. So if he gets more professional, he will be like a really, really good player overall.
All right, well, we should probably let you go. Any final words about the matchup right here?
Nothing. I mean, we're happy. We're going to beat OpTic 2-0, let's hope. Let's hope Tizian and Gob makes a lot of frags.
I was surprised on the Dust 2 over Train pick right there.
Yeah, I mean, we're very confident on Dust 2, and we know that they also like to play Train, so we thought maybe Thorin beside us Train, but we like Dust 2 anyway, so we're good with this map.
All right, good luck.
All right, nice.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
We will. So Robin, we haven't heard anything from you yet.
Yeah, sorry, I just came in. So what were the maps? Dust 2?
It's Dust 2, Nuke, and then finishing it off on Overpass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
how did the first game go? It was 2-0, right?
Oh, I thought you meant the first map here. So like
basically, Heroic almost were able to win on Nuke, which was their pick, but unfortunately NRG just edged it, and then Overpass was the second map, and Heroic won massively on that. No, NRG won massively on that one, rather.
What was the score?
16-5 on Overpass.
But it was like, I think they were like 11 for the first half or something ridiculous. So
12-3,
yeah.
What was third map supposed to be?
It would have been...
putting on a soft spot here.
No, we already had Nuke.
Yeah.
So first one was Nuke, second one was Overpass. Third one was...
Dust. No, it was Dust 2.
No.
I'm going to check.
Train.
Okay.
There we go, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm.
How did you guys feel that game went, in the sense of like who played well, who didn't?
I mean,
who was the subject of conversation?
I mean, for Nuke, it was
Breezy.
Yeah, Breezy was really good on the T side of Nuke.
I always want to say Breh.
Breh.
And then when they went all Overpass, as you'd expect, Cirque had like probably like 25 kills on that, so he was pretty good.
All right, well, that's cool, guys. What's up otherwise?
I love guys like that, by the way. That guy who was like the big coach, where he said it in like a jokey manner. There was, I see a lot of talk about firepower. It's like, there's so many players. Like, my pet peeve with players is you can't compliment a pro player.
Right.
Like, I'll give you an example. I always give MSL as this, right? Because he's the ultimate example of someone who'd whine about this. Say you go to MSL and you go, you know what, MSL? Really respect what you do as an in-game leader. You know, you clearly set the team up. People don't always give you credit, but you're doing a system, you know. You've been able to use this player and get so much more out of him. Right. You've got a solid 4 maps in the pool. Like, you know, that's so hard to get. And, you know, but, you know, obviously you as an individual player aren't that good. He'll go, wait a minute. I'm not good as an individual. It's like, oh, fuck, you can't take it. You can't have a compliment. You have to be good at everything, don't you?
Right.
Like, so it's the same thing with Big. It's like, here's the question I would have for Big, is if you're actually some top team, so we just don't know, we're all idiots, you know, we're looking at you thinking you're like the 9th best team, but in your mind, you know you're the 4th best team. Why do the results not show it?
Right.
Like, what I like about results is, this is why I love the open circuit, is if you give me a big enough data size, I'll just go with the results. Like, if you have enough tournaments.
Which you should be doing.
Yeah, if you play 10 tournaments, and in 10 of the tournaments, your average is like the semi-final team, you probably are like 3rd or 4th best team in the world. You know, there's a reason you didn't win tournaments, or you won one and then you bomb out the next one, so averages out, you know. Like, in Big, the props you would give them is like, they clearly run a good system, God B knows what he's doing, they've managed to get players who are inexperienced like Tizzy in and shape them into the sort of supportive element they want. Even though Nex is up and down, they find a way to use him within the team. They've gotten Smoothie, this fresh talent, and they're letting him sort of be a bit unleashed to test the limits of his game. Right. Meanwhile, you can do that because on the other side of Valence, you've got Tabson, who is very, very skilled, but plays entirely within the system. Right, that's all great. And then someone like that goes, wait a minute, but you're telling me you don't think God B and Tizzy and her fraggers? It's like, I'm out, mate. Like, again, there's a reason. Like, if you have everything, where's your results?
Right.
Why aren't you winning tournaments? You know,
be astrologist at this point.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to. Here's the key
There's always
thing.
something missing. If you're
Everyone's
not
got to identify their weakness as well. You know? And be realistic, which doesn't mean, this is what fans always conflate at this point, it's so wrong, is they think that identifying you have a weakness is being weak as a person and being like, oh, you're not confident. No, when I know there's a weakness, like if I have a basketball team and we don't have like a center, I'm not going to play a slow play through the middle of the game, am I? That wouldn't make sense. When you identify the weakness, you then know how to play to your strength and away from the weakness.
Yeah, work around it,
Whereas I really do think that's like a flaw they have in the big team, is like, because they're just denying this angle of like, there's any firepower issues whatsoever, well then good luck just running the same strats over and over again and wondering why they don't work like they do in scrims, you know. Right. Oh, but in scrims it was awesome, we were winning. I know you were, mate, but in this official game, can that player do that?
It's different, of course, yeah. But that's also why a tournament like this is like nice for a team to come and punch too, right?
I mean, logically, yeah, there's no pressure.
There should literally be like you're playing from home, except for, you know, the monitor's going to be different, the computer's going to be a little bit different, but that's about it.
Sure.
Right? So this should be a really good, that's why I'm saying, like, this should be a really good tournament for a team like Big. You know, Next should be dropping like 45 every game and stuff.
Easy.
And also, at the same time, I also love the way people are always like that. On the one hand, they want you to consider every factor in their team and give their players that even haven't shown it room that they could grow and do better in the game than you've seen in the past. Then you look at their opponent and they're like, easy 2-0 for me. If you say, oh, so they're all just shit and don't know how to play the game, and I guess KGB can't ever be a good player. Yeah, all right, mate, you win. So...
Well, what do you think this game's going to end up then?
I actually think the key thing for me, which is why I was bringing up that angle, is the equalizer that makes it a good series is if OpTic comes and they have the firepower edge. Because they have the players on paper to do that.
Maybe take a Dust 2 down really quick?
What do you mean?
No, yeah, like OpTic, like maybe come out
exactly.
and get the early map.
Like this is the one. Like they have to be able to at least play on this.
And then have a barrel roll CT nuke.
If they themselves don't show up with the firepower, it's over.
Oh, we're live.
Just a much better team.
Let's go. This is maybe the pick-me-up I need. You know?
And obviously, this is the thing as well about picking Dust 2. It's why it's dangerous. If you pick Dust 2, odds are you're starting on T-side, mate. So you can definitely have it. Na'Vi found this out themselves. You can have that game where you don't get anything going on T-side and you've lost the game already.
Yeah. Well, I like this. This is a unique window molly using the wall lineup here.
They're just going to go to it.
They're going to do a little mid-B.
Yes, mid-B. Okay.
Oh, it's a fake. This is a little double fake here. Molly window so they don't have info. Fake the mid-B presence.
And they know no one can be in
Still
spawn.
didn't pull off the CTA setup, though, as that passive pistol.
Yeah, but this is impossible to hold from this ramp here. This is so hard.
Mess config stands tall, which is looking like what he's doing. We were talking about him in pregame.
Where's the help?
But like, why it's Big are not moving forward.
Yeah,
They're
that was the problem there.
literally
It's like,
snails.
if they'd have rushed this guy here, you at least get an even fight, you know. Going one by one, that was such a bizarre idea.
I think what happened is the first guy since he got owned by Config, and the second guy, the third guy in the back was the one who got gooshed to the edge. So he starts kind of staggering a little bit, and then the fourth and fifth just kind of go off the, like, it's almost like body language of the guy in front of you. You just subconsciously are like, oh, he's stopping.
And here's where you want to watch.
See right there, that goosh, and then they all pause.
Because they're doing the pure Glock eco here, because this is another thing about not having a lot of firepower. What is the low econ game of the guys from Big going to be like? I'm
no, they
go
got
ahead
a D gun, Smoothie.
Not that sick. Yeah, they got one gun, but
they just hit him for 99 damage through the door. Holy yeah. Hello? Oh. Mic test 1 2.
Still here.
So this is one of those rounds where it's like, this is where something stupid.
all you have to do is deny the bomb plant here. That's another aspect I think now with the CT economy that is actually undervalued. Is I see way too many people with guns giving up the bomb plant. Like, oh well, we'll take it back anyway. It's like that free money, you can't be giving it away, dude. Like that's some old school thinking. It's more important. I'd even trade like 2 people to stop the bomb dying in that scenario, you know. Because look at this, okay? Yeah. They do the buy, but look at the economy. The utility, rather.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee you this is not the type of execute that God B wants to try and run now.
Yeah, it's going to be like a late round 4 off cat. They're sending 4B early. If the CT smoke or volley, they'll probably cancel. Okay, so they're just...
They're going to peek mid again. The interesting thing is,
yeah.
if you notice, OpTic is doing the pure split as well, where like you just put pressure B and pressure long A. If they rush either, great, you got it blocked. The problem is, what Big is doing now is the perfect counter to that. Every time, just check both sides. When you don't see anything, well, now you got them trapped in. Like, what are you supposed to do in B now? You just have to hit your shots. That's it. That's all you can do. Like, what was the guy below him doing there?
That's a great shot.
Dead.
Well, next 2-bolted him from tunnel.
Yeah.
That's a nice shot, actually, and that's the X factor.
Well, the timing of when they did it, that's the point. The timing of the split's perfect.
But it's also bad positioning and bad communication from OpTic's side there.
Yeah, because if the guy under window just like camps a little longer, he kills the guy above him.
Exactly, and like he shouldn't be.
It's still probably a 3-on-3 at best, but.
Yeah, but at least you get some chance. Like you're never retaking this as a CT and like a man disadvantage. It's never gonna happen.
Unless you have Fifthler on your team and he's flying through the flank already.
Hey, they're just smoking in, smoking off tunnel. Molotov off back plat.
Boom.
Take it over, you know?
That's it, a little
do a little
simple
and just drop off the op and just come in with a P250 headshot, instant headshot.
Big that Config saved his gun there. That was actually a bit of a risky fight to take. I mean, obviously you take it hoping you kill the guy after the time runs out or something, you know, but...
A little freebie there, yeah.
We're
just getting scrappy early here.
So it's just a B split?
And that's a great call from Gob, is you know they're going to start out to like
OpTic hasn't so far played anyone in mid. They just put both inside the B.
Right.
Good call.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's how they do it the entire time, though.
Oh, the thing is now, like, God B himself, this is what he's changed in CSGO is he isn't doing, like, executes now. Basically, he's just setting up, and then everything's a mid-round. But he does that thing where what you're drilling is, like, a million mid-round variations. Sure. So it's like you see the same smoke 4 times, but it can be a different tactic 4 times, you know? So if you notice, I mean, this time they're actually, like, doing a slow pressure B, but long A, but... how does he not get 1 kill there?
Yeah, he was...
I think they made a mistake there, that Snappy was just on his own the whole time.
Oh, he actually
He's
does.
luckily to not be getting hit by that molly right
Yeah,
there.
I was about to say.
Double smoke, pretty necessary now on this cross. The flash looks like it's about to come through from CT.
And they boost the guy up.
Oh yeah, they're gonna.
They're gonna deny bomb plant, aren't they? Oh.
That's unlucky.
That's just like happy accident
that's just
as well.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Because he hadn't gotten on top of the head, so next hadn't seen anyone.
No, but yeah, it's like the thing though. Like,
if you get this kill now, go for it.
Solidly done.
X factor.
I think that those long plays are so good. Like a little bit right after, like it's not a rush, but it's like 20 seconds after.
Delayed.
Yeah.
Long push.
Right after like the first molly or the first smoke and just like explode out. Because there's always only going to be one player there
at the same time.
Because you rotate back, right? Because
everyone's
you have to
spawn
hold
ramp now.
The angle, yeah. Because usually the third guy will go down mid if there's they B split smoke too, so he was forced to rotate down mid.
Yeah, I guess
it's leaving like a
depends a little bit on what kind of preference whatever your opera on the bomb side likes to do,
Well, he
right?
has scout this time.
Yeah, but I'm thinking even if he has not, like if Yugi's the kind of player who likes to play slope to hold off cat instead of playing from bus position, which means that probably config is the first rotator over towards long, I think you stand a much better chance of holding that off than if you just have Yugi there.
Right,
For
this
instance,
is
right,
bold.
like for a delayed push.
Right.
Look at this buy here.
They are boosting fast cat with an op. This is bad, I think. Oh,
That's so huge.
Ooh.
Even a
Reactive
ball.
play that could go multiple ways here if Yugi's not ready for it. Ooh, big blind kill there. And now he's going to town,
Oh,
baby.
hello. Let's make it 4.
nice.
That was almost a good little adjustment there from Big. I like that they didn't hesitate too much. If that blind kill, that initial one on Tizian goes a different way, this is a completely different round. So, 5 alive, but that was almost a completely
And the
different
switch
story.
up there as well was also like OpTic, because they just played extremities of the map first 3 rounds or so. They decided, right, this time we just push in cat because
cat boost.
they do the slow, the big check in mid every time to see where they want to go.
Right. So
Wow. Look at this buy.
yeah,
2
well, what
ops
is this
T-side,
double op?
and what is a glass cannon?
It's double ops with Deagle Tech 9. Alright, the weird one.
I wonder if that's a misbuy.
I don't know, maybe, because on Dust 2...
I feel like Tapson probably called that he was going to drop
Because
an
on
op.
Dust 2, yeah.
It could be,
Running
actually.
off
But
Why
cat's
would
not that
Smooya
fun with
buy
an
an
op.
op with no armor? That makes no sense. He didn't even have a good spawn towards long.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it on Dust 2 just because there's all these headshot angles that you take when you like go sights late.
And now they're back to passive play. Except the difference is they're not putting anyone up long, so they're already ready for the cat if they come.
I don't
Big
think
problem
OpTic
is,
are
though,
going to be expecting
as
double
again-
op here.
The big problem I have here is, like, if you're going to let them do this and you're going to give up the mid like this, at least have someone looking down from here who's going to shoot you when you come over the CT spawn part here. You can't just let them for free look both sides of mid and then go back if they choose with no fight. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Like this, basically, except he was there a little bit late.
Well,
But
if they're good at holding A together, like there is a lot of like if, ands, or buts right here, but okay, well that helps the whole combo. But like right here, this fight, say Snappy doesn't get those 2 kills, there's still a decent chance for Yugi and Config to go positive on their running off cat. I know you're saying, Duncan, like not fighting mid, but if they're not going to go anyways, you're still crossfired. We are not going to be saving this op.
He's dead.
and absolutely broken. Oh, this is what we're talking about. Firepower.
But that right there was just a really weird buy. That doesn't really do anything for you. Like, you don't really play to any of your strength this big with that kind of a buy. So I don't
Especially to go
understand.
short with it. That's the bizarre part. It's like, I'm going to get ops. Surely I'm going to work long. I'm going to cover every angle. Use the guys with the pistols to draw you out so my AWP can kill you. Let's take long control with 2 ops, you know.
Yeah.
Or have one mid still so no flank can come in.
Well, that's what they try to do, right? Since they Snappy got 2 as well. From
Yeah,
Laura.
that was the problem.
I would have
Yeah,
liked
that
to
was-
see
that
them
was the
actually
problem.
do
That was
something
the
they...
unexpected kills.
Yeah, if he had, even if he had gotten 1 and then maybe died, if forced
Yes.
rotation, then it would have been a completely different story, I think.
I would have liked to seen what they did on the pistol with Gob doing the lineup
big.
smoke for window, and then allowing pretty much for Smooya to take a wide peek like in towards long because he's not going to be vulnerable from window. To like maximize the potential of the op is at least.
Like, the CT economy now is in such a prime spot. And you've got 2 ops with that much money. This is the dream, basically. Considering you've lost 2 rounds, you're in a perfect spot for OpTic.
Yeah.
And I think for OpTic on this map, like, if you can even get 10 rounds, you have a really nice chance when you're on your T side now.
I'm just going to go back to repeating what I've always said about Dust 2. Like, none of the teams in today's Counter-Strike can pick it as a first pick.
No, this is why in this particular series, I believe it's a mistake for the guys from Big.
I believe it's.
I think you only pick it as a punish. Like, you know the other team doesn't like it, they're not comfortable. That's where I wouldn't mind picking it. If you pick it and you know the other team plays it, I think you're just playing with fire. Then you're risking you're gambling basically. You're giving them a shot at your map.
I think it's a gamble pretty much regardless, as long as it's like unless you're playing like old VP or something. That's the only time.
Well, or
when
Na'Vi was on top and they were like very, very good 3 months ago, but they just didn't play this map. Like it's a decent punish then, because their map pool was so good, you had no choice. Like they're going to ban Cash anyway, so it was the only other map you could really go into. And a lot of people got free wins off that. Like, I think they lost the first 7 games or something like it.
This is a great setup here from Big. This could actually be dangerous. Expo flash here.
You have no idea how nice that nade would have been.
Oh, this molly
no,
can do
the
so
molly,
much.
There's double
Oh,
molly.
he didn't get it off.
Oh, yeah. And then they already have long.
Yeah.
They have one guy on site though. He's gonna have to. There we go. Nice.
This is actually very good.
He's okay.
There we
That's
go.
great. Move it.
This is the Yugi we've been or got used to seeing.
Yeah, in OpTic though, he just never turned up, did he? That's the problem.
Oh, did he die there?
He died before
They've
time.
got both of the ops though, so whatever. And they've got so much money, it's fine.
Look at him. He has 16 kills. Actually, Conference
Look at
playing
this
really
as
well.
well.
Too,
Big.
but 1, 2, and 3.
And now Big is right back again to the limit themselves.
Yep.
The problem is Smooya hasn't been able to do anything. He's about to join Her Majesty's Secret Service if he dies again without a kill. So let's see if he indeed does that.
Becomes a colleague
Because
of
in
Tizian.
doing so, ironically, you get the license to kill, don't you? So at that point in time, maybe you can do something for us.
Love that one.
I saw he attempted to do the classic little rap move of like, oh, fuck that guy, when I'm not even here in the venue, of course. Then earlier on, when we're like, hey, you want to come and join us? No, I'm all right, mate. So yeah, I bet you are. So see you, mate. Off you go. Off you go.
He said he's going to join the couch today.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
We
did
can
you
have
see
some
that on
fun.
Reddit?
Oh, the problem is this is my last game though, so.
Oh, that's probably how he's lined it up.
Duncan, I got an idea.
This is like when Floyd Mayweather wouldn't fight Manny Pacquiao. Like, what's going on here? Why are you ducking me?
We still
bro?
have 2 more days.
You know?
Duncan, you should hide out back, and we'll be like, hey, Duncan left for the day. We'll
Yeah,
get you on the couch, but we leave one seat open, and you just kind of.
You're gonna be like the Undertaker.
Here's
We
the
just
sad
turn
thing.
off the lights.
You know what? I won't ruin it entirely, because you know what? It's fine to have a persona, and do some banter if you want to make it fun and more interesting. I think that's a pretty cool thing as a player to do. Right. But I will tell you, like all the stuff you see on stream and on camera when he's at an event doing interviews with Smooya, like that literally evaporates when he's just in real life. Like in real life, he's just what you'd expect. He's like a young guy. He's pretty inexperienced. He's trying to figure out who he is as a player and who he is as a person because he's so young. And by the way, he's not even particularly rude.
No,
He doesn't just go around BMing people. You know?
No, yeah.
So that doesn't
I
mean
spoke to him
that
yesterday.
doesn't mean he's a
He
fake,
loves
by the way.
trolling people.
Yeah, he's just
Right,
got
yeah.
a persona. So that's fine. So
Just
now,
likes
now
the
that we know
banter.
that, that's not an issue. The problem before was it seemed like he was trying to make out like that's legit who he was.
Bigger literally
This
just
is
making it a
ridiculous, isn't
mission
it?
to go to the Yugi factory to just get.
That's 20 kills on him.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd 4 kill too?
Well, I guess we know who the glue guy is on OpTic. It's Yugi because he's putting Big in the glue factory.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Look at that. Oh my god. Can we see ADR too?
The ADR on
It's going to be massive
like
with
in
the AWP,
Panorama
isn't it?
is
He's going to have like 200 ADR in it.
that one is not correct though. Like
Okay,
I
that
know
would be
it's wrong.
Pretty nuts.
Because like it said yesterday when Kingman played Heroic, and there's like you're looking at like Rollin who's sitting at like 211. It says like his average damage per round is
Yeah,
like
look.
170. So it's like,
260.
but that's not correct.
That's fully the same.
Yeah, like they always have
Oh,
an
wait,
issue
but,
with the stats.
Why not? They had loads of op kills.
Yeah. It's just that in general, I know it's
We can check
buggy.
HLTV live score.
Yeah, I'll do that actually.
It might be right actually.
What's
like,
crazy
he's
to
had
me
an
about
op
these
every round.
particular setups as well is like, first of all, by the way, since that guy was like, fire Polish, well, ha in your face, because look at this game. This is your map pick as well.
234.
And secondly, the other aspect here is like, I'm amazed that they're not using any utility when they attack that spot. Like, why are you just going out again and again?
Yeah, they use one flash.
Funt
Like,
it out
give me a
to
Molotov behind him that makes him have to go forwards. You know,
I think
flashing from both
they
sides.
try. I think that they're actually missing their molly, right? Because they had a molly on side, but it wasn't far enough.
And I even said this before the game. This is why another reason I think shows that Big has firepower issues. They're not a particularly good low econ team, dude. Like you can see here, they're trying this Tech 9 rush. Let's see if they get anything out of it at all, because it's been pretty whack the last few rounds.
Right.
And that's another thing. Not only does Big, like before the game we were talking about this, one of the biggest factors for them is they have to have prep time, because that's where you get the edge of having God be in that. But secondly, you have to have economy as well. Like they're not a team that wants to play like mix buy, scrappy. Like they're not fans of that.
Right.
Because the one benefit here is that they're going towards a bomb site that hasn't really seen any sort of action since the first.
And the one they,
round.
yeah, and that one they won.
Yeah. I think that's Cajun and Nico, right? Yeah. And they're sitting at what, 3 frags in total, just because they haven't seen people.
Exactly, yeah. Just been A pushes.
This time Nico has a better position though. And like last time we saw a bit of miscommunication between the two.
This angle is terrible to fire at with that guy.
But he's let so many people pass early on. I think that's Nico. Yeah, that's
surprisingly good actually. And Smoothie gets the gun.
I think that's a mistake from Nico's side again though.
Was it just outside of range?
Might be.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
The op dropped out, I think.
Right, that must be it then.
Snappy goes in alone. All right.
They're going to want to save Fazil, yeah.
That was weird.
This is poorly played. Again, I think Nico's making a mistake with how he's playing this. Like how he's leaving Cajun in a really rough position multiple times. Or I say multiple times. Both times they've gone towards B.
What's bizarre about that there is, like, he doesn't have to take those fights. Like, they're a million miles away from you with a Tech 9. Just peek up and down so you get the info.
Yeah, exactly.
Make them come to you. If they want to come in the sight to that box, yeah, take fights against them all day long. Why give them, like, 3 shots from a tunnel when they... Remember, they have... If they don't hit the shot, they can just move back again.
Yeah, I think it's the info part.
Then Cajun's positioning is bad too, if he's not going to be taking that fight.
No, but here's the thing. Like, what I want him to do is literally just, like, go more or look more aggressively for the information without necessarily committing to all like a fight every single time he peeks, right? Because what happens is that he spots the last 4 players on the side of Big coming out of exit. One guy's already made it onto side at that stage.
Yeah, he needs to peek sooner is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. Because that puts Cajun in a position where, like, okay, he picks up the first guy he thinks is entering the B bomb site, but already there's a guy on the actual bomb site.
Right.
Plus, that's also, as you saw there, that's not a crossfire because Cajun B can't look into that tunnel. You can see in the tunnel, but until they come out, you're not actually crossfire. So you've got to make them come out the tunnel. Then then Cajun B's getting 3 shots in the side of people's heads, you know. Again, though, you see, if being able to get out mid is going to be key. Oh, that was unfortunate. I like the idea, at least.
Yeah. I think it's still hold this off. Yugi has the knob over towards long. He's going very far forward, though.
Oh, that's the end of that. Time to save.
This is still a lot of money.
Oh, next. Let's see if he's going to hear anyone.
Going to be too far forward, but...
Because the thing is, you actually do not want to risk losing either of these guys. You do not want to go for a fight here if you're the OpTic guys. You just want a pure save.
And if you're big, you can sack at least 1 weapon here. Because both Tizian and Smoothie are sitting on a fair bit of cash.
Here we go. He's at the corner now. What a mistake. That's just not a fight worth taking if you can.
Good shot from next, though.
And if they can get this one, this is just
There's no way Cajun's going to be looking that direction, is it?
And even if he does, he gets fragged by the other guy. So, okay, he gets that guy. Now they're going to get him no matter what. That was well done by Big.
All right. We're going to make this interesting.
You can buy again, but the problem is if you have those 2 guns, like the economy's still at a half decent level. It's sort of taking over, you know.
I'll see that. I think Snappy's like next time he's
in
a similar
should
situation.
go back to like the semi-aggressive catwalk play, so you at least know if they're coming down mid.
I think even if you don't do that, just like Snappy will probably opt to not take that fight or like spam through the bull, spam through the smoke like he did in the previous round. They put there's a config there instead. No, it's Yugi actually in towards mid now.
We haven't seen OpTic play aggressive in mid or in B either, right?
I think Yugi did it like 1 eco versus 1 eco, right? And that's it.
Oh, that's depressing.
You should just like pay attention to Big's like default, or not default, but when the times have been taken over long, they haven't even taken over B tunnels. They're taking it over right now, and it's been like 40 seconds already. For all they know, he could be lower bit. Well, technically not because the off, but you know what I mean. Pushing him from B tunnel.
All right, time for a split to B. Right, rotate fast.
No.
Where's the rotation?
Now they have to make a choice though on the side of OpTic if they want to focus on mid or exit.
That was a classic mistake. You can see those traces, mate.
That's such a... Yeah.
Like, that was just an example right there, by the way, of where Counter-Strike isn't about aim, because Config has like 100 times the aim of God B, but God B was just played it so much smarter.
Right. That's the only thing he could do that in that config, because I think that Keijo was helping, was like vENdetta was saying, trying to fight B instead of playing mid.
Yeah.
And then you're screwed, right? Because as soon as config dies there, it's just a sandwich.
But that's the thing, like that's where you need, because Keijo was kind of like half-hearting it, because he was still by doorway, right? Yeah. So he needs to be like
as soon as config sees that smoke,
yeah.
it's a flash from Keijo, and you go down and fight with config, and he runs through the smoke.
Yeah, like they just need to commit hard to what like in that sense. There's no wrong answers for the two left on B. They just kind of have to go hard on whatever they decide to do, but they need to do it immediately because otherwise they do get
Yeah, I don't want to see an AWP again on Cajun in this particular game. I think it's not helping him.
Well, they're not going to have the money for it at least for now.
Yeah, because they've had to rebuy it so many times, you know.
You have to remember as well, that's actually very curious too, because since Cajun has always played A, every single team he's ever played for, I think. Yeah. So now he's playing the B rotator with an op. That's weird, like that's super weird angles.
That's the other thing I would also try if I'm OpTic in the remaining rounds. Say if you do want Cajun to AWP, why not try swapping him and Yugi over?
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Look when you come there,
but maybe that's the whole point too, because granted, don't get me wrong, like Yugi's been playing incredible, right? But he hasn't actually been moving around the map a whole lot.
No, he just
think about it. Yeah, it's very stationed. So it's like if they're having problems at B, yeah, why don't try it? Why don't you put him back B plat one round?
You have two legit AWPers, yeah, why not?
Right, yeah, and then put Cajun back, because that's like another. Now, granted, it's been working. But if it hasn't been working,
this is the first time that OpTic's actually played down long when multiple people have tried to come there, and already they've got an entrance. That's too easy. That's just too easy, mate.
What's Nico?
I mean, if you're big right now, the pace is absolutely fine.
No, this is great. I mean, yeah,
they're going to get any more, do they?
And you started to see as well, like, yeah, they lost 7 rounds, but they haven't hit catwalk since.
They've learned their lesson.
Yeah. Oh, I love this as well. Like big.
And there's no one there.
Fast
this
out
one
long.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Putting pressure on Cat because they want to put focus on mid. But here's the problem, though. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Who's isolated?
Yeah, and that's a great call too from OpTic, honestly. Like you have to do that if you know you don't have long anymore. Chances are that you're just gonna drop one off and fall back to mid. Now you're basically forcing them to just push out long and just towards the site.
This hold is so big for OpTic in this game.
Config's never getting out of that corner, is he?
Probably not.
Bombs dropped, that's big. The issue for Big right now is the fact that Config is still alive, so he's still going to be something they have to deal with.
Yes, and he kills a planter now.
Yeah. He chose the right time to go there.
It's still going to be very tough for Tabson. He's a very consistent AWPer, though, I will say, though. So if he hits the first guy, nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, nicely done from OpTic, honestly.
And getting this last one as well from OpTic's pretty big. Obviously, no problem whatsoever on the big side. Plenty of money.
Oh, they did make the switch. You see that? Nico's holding the off instead of Cajun now. Instead of just swapping positions, he's just
he picked it up from the Smooya's body.
Right.
So
yeah, but he didn't drop
just
it.
Holding it, yeah.
Exactly. So, makes sense. The problem with that thing is they just never saw any action in B except just getting pushed in from both sides.
Right.
So it's like, not like you can do that. That's why no one likes to play B on this map professionally. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence when they removed this map to get reworked. That all the people who were saying, like, yeah, I'm glad it's removed, were like the B-anchor CT players.
Right, right, yeah.
Because your job's just a nightmare. It's like you either see nothing or you get your head smashed.
Yeah, it's the B-anchor roll is
you know
so
you're going to die, don't you? Like,
yeah. You know. There's nothing you can do.
Oh, this is big for opportunity.
Vision needs to be faster.
There we
He's able
go.
to punish.
There we go.
All right.
7 rounds T-side. Pretty good. When you consider they were down like 2 to 7 or something. Right?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Yugi, by the way, didn't, after he had that crazy round.
Well, they stopped going A, but he didn't get a single kill. Yeah,
he
that's
did nothing after that.
Exactly, yeah.
Especially because when he went to peak mid, he wasn't getting anything when he was actually peaking versus the AWPs and the rifle.
Yeah.
He only was doing that versus the eco. No, the odds still favour OpTic at the moment on GG Bet.
It's a little bit surprising considering whose map pick it is and everything.
I think it's because, like, this is one of the things about this map as well. Some people think because if you watch the really good teams play, like you saw here, Big didn't even have that great a half and they almost won the half. So I know a lot of people think this map is T-sided still. I think it's only T-sided if you're one of the best Dust 2 teams. Like, otherwise, if you put 2 teams who are average on this map, I would pick the CT side to win. Like, I think it's actually like a lot stronger overall. Because you've got to be so coordinated, actually, on this one. I don't think it plays out that much like the old Dust 2. Like,
No, I agree.
The amount of flash strats you can do is way more, you know? Like, who's throwing 4 flashes to go to a spot on the old Dust 2?
No, if you don't know what you're doing on the T side here, like...
It's really hard.
Yeah, because there's so many angles where you're like, well, especially the operas on the side, too. It's just like, well, we're just getting picked apart, aren't we? Like an entry. Always playing that 4v5.
Well, pistol's going to be at least a nice little way to get started.
If OpTic wins this pistol, we got game on.
Yeah, very much so, actually. Config with a PT50. I see, again, not something new, but, you know, more and more teams doing it as well. Just whenever you have these long-range battles, just being able to have one guy who can actually kill someone from that distance.
That's so
nice.
Big. Nice. This is a rough retake.
This is already an OpTic round. There's no kit left. There's no way they're going to remove 5
no
players.
Kills at the moment. The depressing part for Big is because they have... Oh, there's 1. But based on what we've seen before, how they've done it, I would assume they're just going to do a full save at this point in time.
Just jinxed him, or not jinxed him, rather.
That was actually pretty
jinxed
big to get another
ourselves, like
kill,
get a 3 kill there.
Bit of money. Let's see, because based on what I've seen in the tournament so far, they don't buy, so I would guess they don't here.
I feel like on seed side, it's just a map that you just need economy on.
Of course,
they
yeah.
should
And with their
take the-
score, like, yeah,
yeah.
get to a round where you've got the AWPs on the
Right.
people you need them.
Right, because full safe here, like we were talking about, next round they have, you know, a rifle and armor and no utility on a map that's just so open. Taking their time. Lurking a little bit long too, just holding angles. A little bit risque. Gonna try.
Not a lot done so far. Hopefully you can get one more kill if you're big. Ain't gonna happen.
Have OpTic played this map recently?
They play
it
it
a
like
lot?
semi-frequent. I'll have a look at what the actual stats are on it. We'll see. I know they played it when they were at Star Series, though.
Oh yeah.
It's not like a heavily played map for them.
Like it's one I think when they first made this call that they were trying, but I mean they were losing a lot of maps. So to be fair, like,
that I mean makes total sense for this for OpTic to try and be good on Dust 2. Like if you look at the players,
this was Big's pick though,
right? Yeah, yeah. No, but that's what I mean.
That's the weird thing though. Like
I'll come back, Jordan.
You have like a lot of scenarios, right, where that you look at the lineup of a team and you think like they should be so good on this map. It's like Na'Vi, for instance, and Cash, famously like. You know, a map that they never even touched. It's like they got simple, or like at the time they had simple and Guardian. Everything just like this should be amazing, right?
The maddest ever has to be all of those Astralis cores not wanting to play Cobblestone. It's like, guys, that's literally like a mad T-sided map where if you have lots of executes with utility, you are gods. It's like, am I missing something here? Like, what is it with, you know? Did your dad leave after a Cobblestone was loading up or something, and you've got like a trauma in your brain, like, oh, he's coming home, he's getting cigarettes?
I mean, players do have like trigger maps,
of course,
like that, right? Like,
or
you know, they refuse to play.
You played like that one scrim where someone just smashed your head in. It's like, oh yeah, we're never playing that again.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Yeah. Or like they play one official game and they're like, well, we got 16-2. It's just we're never
going to be good on it.
Right.
By the way, what was I mean, you played for the team. NiP were. You know, one of the teams that would shout the loudest when Mirage was redone, right, by Valve. And we went away from CE, went over to the Valve version. NiP were probably one of the only teams that actually was like, oh, the map's great, it's wonderful. And then it continued to be your permaban for the next 2 years.
Right.
What was the deal there? Was that just like...
So when it first came out, the update, we were actually pretty good on it. We were actually really good on that map.
Yeah?
I can't remember when it was, but it was. I think it was a tournament. We got completely smashed on it. We hadn't practiced it for a while, and then after that, everyone just got so much better on the map. But we just get like I think we lost another like 1 or 2 games on it. We're like, well, this is bad. And at the time, we were at that point where it's like we don't really have a bad map per se. This is when we first started because we used to just veto whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
In the sense of like,
it's more like, oh, this is their best map.
Right.
Like,
because we played all the maps.
Get you gone.
Yeah. But then we started like, well, we can't. At the time, because people were getting better. Like, we have to get an insta-ban.
Oh, by the way, apparently I misspoke. Actually, OpTic is terrible on this map. Like,
really?
The only team they've beaten recently was Renegades at Star Series. Other than that, they'd had actually like a mad losing streak where not only had they lost to Big on it at the major, but when they lose, normally they were getting like, you know, like 6 rounds or 7 rounds themselves. So it's already a way better game for them. And that's why I can see actually, maybe it does make sense that Big picked it then. Like on that one, I can see why you don't just pick Train that you both play. I don't know why. In my brain, I was sure OpTic played this more. Maybe I just
but they played it.
It makes sense.
OpTic have played it online as well. Like at least a couple of ECS.
I don't know why I thought they would be half decent on it.
But again, like, just like their players lend themselves to being proficient on Dust 2. And again, Dust 2, everybody knows how to play it to a certain degree. I just don't think you're giving yourself like the biggest advantage possible if you ever pick into Dust 2. Which is why, like, I can see it being a third map kind of a deal, but picking it feels like a pretty massive risk for me. And I've yet to see like a single team actually having it pay off for them.
All right, well, we've got the AWP on the Smooya. Thus far, hasn't really been able to do a whole lot in the game. I mean, to be fair, on their T side, like, it's not just one person fragging out. You know, like they're just doing good executes, taking the right area together. So,
and honestly, as well, AWP on T side is. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good in some situations, but it's really hard to AWP T side on this map. Because like you would assume, oh, what do you mean? You get like so many long angles. Like if you take over long, you get towards long plat, or like you go up cat. Yeah, well, the problem is that angle towards like A site is so difficult to like. You normally tend to die if you go and peek that angle.
Snappy's not going to check this.
Well, at least he's going to get. Yeah, he's,
you
have the guy in the corner
timing
taking
was
it.
just there on time, especially because you see this guy here. That's so good, so well played. Like what I love about that is like that there's no skill required there. You just use his brain.
Yeah.
And the call of the other guys.
Positioning, you know.
And just like that, the round's almost over.
They're gonna need something big, yeah.
Config's coming in now. Pull his Doc Holiday. You want a name, Jewel? I'm your Huckleberry.
Bombs dropped in outside of long now as well. So
this is so big for the economy not to lose any guns. See if this long guy. Oh, Gob's just missed him going to catwalk now, because Gobby's just like gonna wait until he gets the comm from the guy on the A site before he pushes around.
Yeah.
which is smart as well. Like, why? Like, in this scenario, if you're a rookie player, you go, no, I'll push around now and kill them at the end of the round. It's like, yeah, but if you die there also, now you know there's no one coming. It makes it so much easier to just rush on the site. Like, that's an example of where the play you didn't make actually makes it more likely you win the round.
Still a chance for, well, I was about to say, still a chance for him to get a bomb plant here.
He could just come behind now, can't he? Kind of an uncharacteristic miss there.
Got with the flank.
And now you build him back.
Yugi actually opting to not go for an op. Oh, he
no,
got
yeah, I was
dropped an
gonna
op.
say that's.
He got dropped an op by Snappy.
Yeah,
that's why. Because he had enough money, he just wouldn't have obviously utility and whatnot. So Snappy's just decided to fall on that sword. Betterment of the team.
They're only playing 1B so far.
Very late to cross over. They're actually going to have someone maybe actively peeking in later on.
I also find it interesting, right, that on Dust 2, look how many teams on CT side have their in-game leader be the long A player. Because they want the guy there who knows, like, exact read of when to tell the guys looking catwalk to look down, when to come and join me, when to stay back there for the rotation. Like, it's such a tricky spot, and you can definitely get exploited if you go there.
That's an 8.5 right there.
This is like a kill and fall off instantly for Tabson. Not if you can't stop him, that's the thing, right?
Well, he also had next there, so he had
caught
to
out of position now, though. But
how does he hit that? Yeah.
And he gets out without even having to take another duel.
He's going to go back in. But enough time, at least, for Gob to get close.
Yeah, it was a mistake staying there, Gob.
Yeah.
That was a mistake, mate. Because if he waits off a second and gives them time to come round, this is a pretty good retake. Still very doable. Like, I'd boost someone up now.
Oh, head? Hello, Tijan? Okay.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Didn't see it. Well, that puts Big in a pretty
You've
much
got to
impossible
save the
situation.
You can, but you can't, obviously.
They know Tabson's still around there as well. That's why Cajun's not bailing.
They should absolutely hunt this.
Oh, yeah. That's why Cajun's not moving away from this area, because he knows that Tabson was the initial point of contact with the op, so he has to be around there.
Rush this guy completely now. It's so worth it.
Yep. You take those any day.
Like, you don't really care. Remember, he's only getting $100 for each of these kills. Who even cares about that?
All right, so this... Instead of bringing it back here on the side of Big, they're getting...
Yeah,
this is what opens the window for OpTic now. I was getting a bit worried there, like they needed to get one sooner or later.
At least we're not...
The score's still fine.
At least we're not seeing Big buy into this. I mean, Tabson and God would have had enough money.
Smoothie doesn't have a kill in the half or something. We go. It's going to be 13-8.
He's up to 26.
So it's going to be 13-8, and the guys from Big basically have to win the round. Otherwise, they're going to be right back in the same position again.
Yeah.
Just because they're not going to be getting any guns now. Like, they're already, for the sort of team they are, like, you're already going to be missing some utility here. And there we go. You've only got the AWP on Smooya. Oh, they're giving it to Tabson, actually. Ooh. That says something. Like, listen, I get it. I wouldn't give it to Smooya either. He hasn't any kills, but I don't know what Smooya's going to do with the rifle. Because if you notice, he always tries to just peek different angles around the door. Like, he plays the off angle in case the AWP goes to the mid left part. That he's just going to play and be with him.
I think it's been really quick on taking catwalk control every single round with just the smoke off of the box. Didn't really see that from Big.
I think Tabs needs to...
Much slower.
Okay. Thought Nico was going to push up before Config actually came
This is actually a very good spot because you're going to hear him. There we go. Great timing. Oh. Like, that was a very fortunate shot by Yogi there. He just did it out because he had no choice, but Smooya got a bit screwed over that. That was a pretty good player.
And here we go, the B-bombs that player. Yeah. It's like, well,
your time to shine.
Oh, nice flash.
Still only gets one.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. All right, solid by next. 2v3 retake though, you could definitely still hold this off as a T.
This guy's
actually going
has to do
aggro.
so much though. Like, Smooya's holding it presumably.
I don't think they're going to expect them because they're at a disadvantage for anyone to wrap around.
Yeah, you think they're playing inside the site.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, the
no,
lineup.
Oh, does he?
Oh, he saw him.
Oh, that is
wow, he
so
gets the wall
unfortunate. Yeah.
Oh.
That was sick.
And remember, that's the round where if Big
Big
loses that round, right back in the dumpster.
Right.
I mean,
Bigger played for Ty at that point.
yeah, I mean,
But they still don't have good money now. Even
yeah,
winning
they're
it low,
screwed
like,
wise. They have a much weaker buy, and OpTic are going to be able to.
Like
be
if you're
perfectly
OpTic,
fine.
that's the backbreaker right there. Because when Cajun get those 2 kills, you're like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it, guys.
Yeah, I got it.
Then again, do you even know how bad their economy is right now?
No, you should have a pretty good idea, I think.
It's the first full flash catwalk.
There's one guy.
Oh, the counter flashes have been too good. You have to abandon now, basically. But it's
yeah.
too late.
Ouch.
Oh, what a huge round to win for Big.
Yeah. Exactly what they needed to stabilize a bit. So benefit for OpTic still is obviously the cushion they've built up. So they just need to do one more eco and then they're back at it again.
Timeout by OpTic.
I think we need some food, boys. We need some energy,
Yeah.
caffeine.
All the things.
Jordan is vlogging. That's why he hasn't been around. That's BM.
It's actually just 50 to tell them to cut your mic, just like sitting like that the entire time. Just making sure you're not
Maybe they
getting
just turned it off before. Yeah. The reason why is because they're trying to fix my sound problem.
You have a sound problem?
Yeah. I think it's been like this. Have you guys sat on this side before?
No.
You have? Yesterday?
Oh, no.
No,
Okay.
he's been on that couch.
I think it's only Tommy. Oh, Jordan sat here yesterday too. It's like a bus.
Oh, I have a buzz as well.
I have
Really?
a
This
buzz
one.
as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just sounds like...
On the
It's
left
like,
one.
it's like white noise.
Yeah,
kinda.
on the left one, there's no buzz. So
I'm
when I
not
was
finding
sitting
it
there
that bad.
yesterday,
It's not like killing me or anything.
no, I know, but when I was sitting there yesterday, when it's completely quiet, there's like no buzz at all.
Yeah.
And then here I was like, huh.
This is huge because this is the bomb down now.
They're not going to be able to deny it.
Yeah, that's big. Ooh. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. That was pretty sick, even though it was Nico.
That's the thing. Like Nex does have like mechanical skill. There's no doubt about it.
Punch man. Chilling. All right. What do we think? Are we going to full distance, Duncan?
This does look like it could be overtime, doesn't it?
I'm a little bit worried now, actually.
Because here's the problem. Like, it looks like OpTic is going to... They're not going to, like, peel off 3 rounds in a row. They're just going to, like,
Right.
win 1, lose 2. And so that pace heads you towards overtime. But at the same time, I don't think Big can just win all the rounds from here on out. So I do feel like it's going to be 30, yeah.
Right.
Definitely up in the air, though, right now. It's really tough to tell who's going to win. And at least they've gotten Smooya back on an AWP final, so he can maybe do something. There's 1 kill.
That's the second one, too.
Yeah.
Of the round.
I think like this is how you want to utilize Smuya as well. Like at the very start of the game, of their CT side, right? Like he would just go immediately in towards the B bomb side. I think you want him to be like, or walking around the map, seeing if he can find openings more so than just being a static player who's just not doing anything. All right. This has been a wildly successful round for Big.
I just that they keep on staying alive with so many players, too.
Yeah. Oh, not too shabby. And it's eco time for OpTic again. How big were the lead? Was it like 13 to 8, 7?
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, they've only won the last 4.
13-8.
Yeah.
Oh, now the odds have swapped, huh? drastically.
Yeah, a lot of bandwagoners jumping off there.
All the OpTic fans in Denmark just slowly figuring out that we're going to side with Astralis instead.
Maybe it's because of your comments. Sway the odds.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, though, I don't think like at any given point, like you've probably it wouldn't feel reasonable to put like higher odds on or better odds for OpTic than Big on Dust 2, like, for a multitude of reasons.
Or no, I'm not a betting man.
Neither am I.
Well, the tough thing right now is like basically, I mean, the CT economy is just secured for the rest of the game now. I don't really know how you're going to stop them in that sense. So you still have a chance to win, but you're never going to get in a free round at this point if you're OpTic.
I think it's down.
That part's done.
I think it's down to whether or not Big decide to do double ops. If it's double ops, then they can get wrecked. But if again, they would have to start now by winning this Pistolico, which is highly unlikely, but one can dream.
Just think about it. By the time the loss bonus kicks in, you're right back at the money anyway.
No, but they only have well, now it's pretty much game over, right?
Yeah, and
well,
they would have had to
yes,
win this round.
because they only had enough money for essentially one like full buy.
Yeah, but this was like a
now
full
it's
save
over.
for
Yeah,
one,
now you know, look at the money. All 5 alive.
Right, this is the round that probably decides the game, because if you're OpTic, you basically just have to keep winning gun rounds all the way from here on out. So
yeah,
this is a massive round. And I can't really say, if you look at this half, that OpTic has like a go-to. Like, I don't really know what they think actually works right now. Tried a bit of everything. The only thing they haven't tried is they haven't tried like a really heavy B, like split B or anything. Like, they've generally just always set up for slow A every single time.
I think the one tried for B split was the one where Tizian is alone on the B bomb site, right? He finds one frag and Cajun goes for the long wrap.
Right.
Config's so horny for aim duel here.
That's a big one as well. Smooth's been so active ever since he got the op on himself again later on in the second half.
This is where if you go back and watch their demos, Snappy, you're going to be so mad in this game. Like, so many times you peaked mid, they had 2 players there. Like, even if you could have like tried to trade on this Smooth, you would have died as well.
Right.
So if you knew that, obviously you just pressure long A all day long, but they couldn't anticipate that was what they were going to do. Like, this is basically where you're just going to wait till like 30 seconds, run out a catwalk, and configure whoever goes first just has to shoot that guy in the head who's on the A side.
If Tabson dies, though, like immediately, then...
The rotation is so fast here as well. Oh, that's a big kill. And you get out. That's pretty big.
I think if Tabson dies...
As soon as this goes out, there we go. Through we go, boys. It's all on you, Tabson.
Yeah. If this is an equal trade here, pretty much, then OpTic win the round.
Oh, it's missing.
Oh no!
Oh,
it's all falling apart.
There we go.
Well then, that's what you needed.
Oh,
okay.
What the hell? 2v2. They're going to peek onto him.
Dude,
I'm not loving
They're going to peek on him.
No, these positions from OpTic
are really, they're so reliant on getting Gobby. I'm not a big fan of how Cajun positioned himself there. But
well, he had really no choice, actually.
Round.
If anything, that was super smart. He dropped spawn because he knew that it was one.
No, he did. That's the thing. He didn't drop spawn. He dropped down at the slope, but he stayed there while the buddy on site is only watching for long. And you have Smooya coming up from Cat, a guy who just ran through a smoke. What do you think I like that of him happily taking that peek?
Yeah, but it's headshot angle, right? I don't know. I quite like it. You know, you get because then that's essentially you can work the angles too. You have double crossfire. You have crossfire towards
you
Cat,
have one guy
he peeks,
sitting behind the box, aiming towards long.
Yeah,
You're still not getting
and
the
then
close
you
angle.
just strafe as soon as he sees them down ramp, bang, and then you strafe from sight. You get him, and then when you're at the box, you strafe long. You say, oh, he's peeking, don't peek, and then Cajun has him on that side too. It's a double crossfire.
But then you bank on the guy along not peeking, right? Like.
No, I mean he was strafing, so he knew where he was.
Are you talking about Cajun now, or
no, the guy on site?
Yeah,
he ended up killing Gobby too. I mean, it is a double crossfire when he drops in spawn there. It's great positioning.
I'm not. I think it's risky to do because that can very easily, like, Cajun can get caught out there before they get to deal with Gob.
Not really.
who's going to deal with the guy coming up short? Not the guy on site, because, yeah, again, like
Cajun has first angle from ramp, right? Because he dropped, he was in spawn, he was right there underneath Tabson. So he has headshot angle on Smooya.
No, he went away from that angle. That's what I'm talking about. Like he went actually to double up for God B.
Oh, he was running up towards long?
Yes, that's why I felt it was iffy. Instead, like again, if he just like holds that position, then yeah, sure, I'm totally done with it.
Tabson's going to be fully behind them. He's got to be 1 kill minimum.
Ooh.
And he gets the ball.
No!
The jump!
Oh, what a kill by Yugi. That's so massive.
Oh, he got the
other one as well.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be tough because...
20 seconds, though.
Like, yeah, but he's got time to play that.
You stay on side here if you're Gob? Oh. Hello, Cajun.
12 seconds, mate. 12 seconds. Good molly.
There we go.
Wow, what a big round that was for the OpTic guys. I think that's probably game against them if they lose that because look at the money, but what a huge win. The real kill there actually ended up being that Yugi one where he had to land and basically like no-scope him instantly.
The fact that he actually dodges a bullet by jumping over.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Oh, I feel for Tabson there. He made a really good play actually.
Yeah.
Even delayed the bomb in the end, which obviously they were rushing in on like 40 seconds or something, you know. This is a rough round to make work if you're big.
Hey,
you want a PK because, you know, nothing's happened. Oh, what a kill.
How do you get that working
for you? What a kill on an off angle. Right.
Oh, it works.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, so you heard too long. Now you just push up catwalk. That's correct. Now you know there's a guy coming below.
That play
taps in again, but unfortunately he doesn't know they're passed.
Ooh,
coffee.
Yeah.
This.
Oh, the flash though. Was that a teammate flash?
What is going on here? The game. This should be it. Yeah, it's game.
That is it.
Well, well.
Like we were talking about, it could potentially be a 2-0 in either direction.
Well, here's the key thing: is like Big is not a great nuke teammate, so they were relying on winning this round. And as we said, okay, in this case it was picked as a punish, but even so, you are gambling when you pick Dust 2.
I mean, I think the idea of picking Dust 2 as a punish map as well is just not smart. I mean, look at Navi at Epicenter. Let's pick Dust 2 as a punish and lose 16-2. It's like teams haven't figured the map out well enough, I think, to the point where anyone can say like it's a safety for them. I mean, I know like, for instance, Lurpus, he thinks like the random factor of Dust 2 is overplayed, but I mean, there's nothing that really goes to tell you that Dust 2 is a map that anyone has figured out up till this point. So
says Lurpus, is that what you said?
No, Lurpus was saying like that the random factor of Dust 2 isn't like is overplayed. But
I don't think it is at all.
I don't think it is at all.
I think it's easily the most random map in the pool.
Yeah. It's just, like, otherwise you would have someone who is ahead of the curve on the map, but you definitely don't have that. So
all you need to know is this. Go and look over the last 3 months at the teams who tried to make Dust 2 their pick. Like, they picked it a bunch of times. FaZe Clan did it. They very quickly went away from that. Mouse Sports did it. They very quickly went away from that.
Right.
The only teams that have stuck with it is actually like Big, and even then they don't always pick it. They sometimes pick Train or something, you know. Yeah. Like, everyone who tried it very quickly found out that, like, you know, you have the random loss against a team that's much worse than you. Like, this doesn't make sense. Why do we lose now? So you can't have that same reliability, you know.
Right. Yeah. How does that feel for you guys? Like, obviously, when you were playing in Cloud9, Jordan, like, going into just, like, Dust 2 just as a topic in general, like, did you guys feel the same way? The fact that you would never play Dust 2 against a, assumed worse opponent? Or you would happily play it versus someone who's assumed better if the map...
we would play against people, but what you end up doing is you just don't do any, like, gimmicky shit. You just default the map because you're assuming they're going to make mistakes. So you just do the cat control. You do... And actually, towards the end of Dust 2, we had... I guess this is kind of besides the point. We had some really neat, almost akin to Mirage fakes on the map, where it's like... It's kind of like what you see teams do where they throw the nades early B. You run out mid, you get spotted by the Opera who's holding the mid-B split, and then you run back up cat. But as that's happening, the bomb got spotted out of mid, and then you run out long at the same time. Automatic was making, they were called the Tim Mobiles, and we had like 3 of them. I I felt like Dust 2 is something you can control. I think people think it's a lot more random than it is. I think that you could.
So you're on the Lurpus train here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think though Dust 2 snowballs pretty quick. Like when you're having like a good T side, all of a sudden you're up like 12-0, and it's like pretty bad.
But you're talking about easy to control versus lesser teams, though.
Yeah.
Right, because like, to your point, I completely agree. I think Dust 2 is one of the most snowballing maps that we have.
Yeah.
Like
long rushes and shit.
Yeah, for sure. It's really hard. Like, yeah, if you have momentum and stuff, yeah, this map could go. You can have a great
14-1.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we've seen
Yeah,
it.
exactly. You can have a great T side. You can have a great CT side. Like, it's a very open map in that sense. Like, oh, okay, our T side was bad. It's all right. Like, you can always come back on CT side. But no, it's I don't know. I'm not. I mean, we used to pick Dust 2 as well versus like teams and stuff. But I think in this day and age, when like everyone is just so like. Everyone has a coach, everyone has an analyst. Like, I think Dust 2 is very easy to abuse in that sense.
Yes, it is. Yeah, if you know that guy's being left alone big pit and it's, you know, a certain player's not the strongest rifler in the team, you at any point in the round you could hit long A and take it and trade positively.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
Closing thoughts on the first map?
I think Big are feeling a little bit uncomfortable now having to go into Nuke to save their bacon, really. I mean, they haven't had a good track record on it. We saw them have a bad time at it in the veto against Complexity at the Major, where they actually just thought Complexity are not going to pick it. Then they did. Same thing versus Fragsters at Starlight as well.
They were expecting a Nuke pick yesterday instead of Train.
Yeah. So
they
I don't know.
They were prepared for year 4 Nuke yesterday.
It keeps cropping up, so at some point you have to be prepared, and that's really the worry for me with Big right now. So I think OpTic are loving life at this point.
See how they do when they're in the driver's seat.
Right.
Yeah. In a couple minutes.
Exactly. We'll see you guys after the break.